On Tyneside, football is a way of life. The Geordie fan loves nothing better than a likely lad, a hero with whom he can associate. Right now, such a player exists. Mind you, at first glance, he's an unlikely looking star, but put him on a football field and a rare talent is there for all to see. Paul Gascoigne is the name. Just 20 years of age, he's already won over the St James's Park fans in the same way as his famous predecessors.
And he comes again to Keegan. And a fine cross to Waddle. Oh, yes! And Keegan. And Beardsley again. And Beardsley still. Oh, magnificent! What a great goal by Peter Beardsley!
Before Beardsley and Waddle, there was a legend, the great Jackie Milburn. Now a football journalist, Jackie has watched Paul's progress with great excitement and believes all the praise is justified.
Oh, and he deserves it. I think it's about 35 years since I've seen a kid as good as what this lad is. And I just can't believe the skills of him. He's got everything, everything. He's got a couple of faults, man. But 2.5 years ago, I wrote, after I saw him in the youth team, that this fellow was the next England captain who would take over from Bob Robson, and I still believe it. And since then, he just went on and on and on, and his skills is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sticks out a mile. And he'll tell you so as well, you know.
Because he's a confident lad.
Oh, confident. He's like Malcolm MacDonald. I think whether it's confidence or they've got to say things to give themselves confidence, I don't know. But last year we were struggling in the first division and could have been relegated, and Gaza was missing for a few weeks. And after one game he says, "Oh, all right, Jack," he says, "I'm back next week, we're safe." And mind we were, because we did very well the last 8 or 9 games. But it was him that kept us in the first division.
Not since the great Jackie Milburn have we had a lad who was from the northeast, who's gone on and played for England and spent their whole career at Newcastle. And, you know, we had Chris Waddle and Peter Beardsley who played for England at Newcastle and then gone on to do other things with other great clubs. But if Paul stays at Newcastle and starts his England career and finishes his England career at Newcastle, then he will be the next footballing legend. And Jackie Milburn was the last one, and that lad will carry it. And I mean, he's a real hero because he's one of them. They love him and he loves them. And I heard him do an interview on the radio the other day, and he said, you know, people ask me about when we win and when we lose. He says, I feel worse than the fans when we lose.
Willie, how good is Paul Gascoigne?
He's got a lot going for him. I never thought I'd ever say this about a young player of 20-year-old, but he has got a lot going for him. He's got a lot of ability. He has got things in the game, in his game, that are missing in the game in general. He's got flair that we don't see very often nowadays, and I think that's important that we get that back into the game. If he's got a fault, it's maybe he's a little bit over-enthusiastic at times, but that's up to us to try and put right.
In the meantime, the Gascoigne skills are beginning to illuminate the First Division. Paul's also a character. He plays up to the fans. But he's also becoming a marked man. Witness Vinnie Jones' own idea of close marking.
Just me and my shadow, all alone and oh so blue. And when it's 12 o'clock, we climb the stairs. We never knock, for nobody's there. Just me and my shadow, all alone and oh so blue.
With that sort of attention, it's not surprising the lad the fans call Gazza likes to get completely away from it all at Tumbleton Lake, Cragside. But has he always been football mad?
Definitely, you know, I think you go back when I was a young'un, when I was 7 in the park, you know. I used to play football all the time, and I think it's something I've always lived for.
And a Newcastle fan as well?
I never used to watch football much. I think I was too busy playing, but I watched Newcastle a couple of times on the television. You know, I think I still remember when they were putting goals past you, but...
Any heroes or idols along the road?
Obviously, everyone used to talk about Mark MacDonald when he was at Newcastle, some great goals he used to score and that.
Barraclough's cross, MacDonald! Well, how did he get in like that?
How did you actually
start fishing?
Like you say, I was, in Dunstan, I was driving the car, and someone was with a fishing rod, a young kid, and asked him if I could come along and I'll give him a lift and watch him. And I went along with him, and I enjoyed it from then on. I just took up fishing. I've always fancied it, but I've never actually bought a rod. So I eventually got in touch with Stan Nixon, who I knew done a bit of fishing, who teaches the lads at School of Excellence, and he was delighted to take along and teaches a few things. And I have caught a few fish. I've took a bit of stick off Captain Glenn Rudder, but I think he wasn't too happy when I took a 5.5 pound trout in, so that keeps me happy anyway.
With freedom of contract now, Paul, I mean, there is a time when a player like yourself, there will be lots of temptations. What would keep you up here in the northeast?
Bigger fish. More fishing ponds, and I think that could keep us a bit. But mostly of all is success. I want to play for success. Everyone likes success, and I can't see any reason why we can't have it at Newcastle, because I'm certainly the fans appreciate it. They're next to nothing in the world. They're brilliant. They turn up whatever the weather. Just showed, the other night when we played Monaco. There was 10,000 there, and it was freezing cold. I think most of all it's just the fans. If anything happened, they would keep us here because they're brilliant.
A lot of people must have helped you along the way, and I guess Mum and Dad are top of the list.
Definitely, especially Mum. We'll start with Mum first. I remember when she used to really work hard, to get me a pair of boots. And I mentioned a bit about getting some little wood specials the other day, but my mum gives her some sticky, because I remember she buys a new pair of boots, so if you're listening, Mum, I'm sorry about that. And my dad, he was the one who bought us a ball for when I was young, He was the one who gave us a ball when I was young, and says, so what can you do with that, son? And hopefully I haven't let either of them down. I appreciate what they do for us, and from now in the rest of my career, everything I play for is for them and my family.
There's no holding him. He's the best in the world. Honestly, the best in the world.
What a refreshing character. And yesterday, Paul Gascoigne was named Barclays Young Eagle of the Month. That's for the second time this